Well, Apple shares have closed at a record high overnight, with the tech stock up more than 41% since the start of the year. Joining me live now is business reporter Edward Boyd. Ed, investors have flocked to Apple as a tech safe haven. It's now worth almost $3 trillion US.
$3 trillion US. It's getting really close to that level. It is worth roughly 7.5% of the S&P 500, which is the biggest stock market index in the United States. So it's the biggest company on the US stock market. This is what the shares did yesterday. They lifted about 1.6% overnight to $183 US and 70 cents. So this tech stock does really well. A lot of investors have been flocking to it this year because they've got regular sales events. Whenever they bring out new products, fans are flocking around corners to buy Apple items. So they've got really good cash flow coming in. Investors have been buying shares quite a bit this year. Last week they launched the new Vision Pro headset, which is worth about $3,500 US per headset, and there was a bit of speculation it could cause the share price to dip. But that didn't happen. On the day the headset came out, the share price actually went up even more. So there's clearly going to be a lot of demand for this Vision Pro headset, which when it comes on sale next year, and that's going to help underpin the Apple share price, which has been a really strong tech performer at a time when a lot of other tech companies haven't been doing well due to rising interest rates, Sam.
Yeah, huge story, Ed. And this week, looking ahead, the key economic news is on Thursday. We've got the unemployment numbers and a cash rate decision by the US Federal Reserve.
Yeah, the big one for us is the unemployment numbers, which come out on Thursday. So this is for the month of May. And the unemployment rate surprisingly increased in April from 3.5% up to 3.7%. Now, for the month of May, the expectation is the unemployment rate will remain flat at 3.7%. There's probably going to be about 20,000 odd jobs created during the month of May. But expect unemployment rate to slowly tick up throughout the rest of this year, perhaps getting to 4% by December. But the US Federal Reserve, the US, basically the equivalent of the Reserve Bank of Australia in America, they're making their cash rate call on Thursday morning. We'll get the press conference from Governor of the US Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell. Right now, the cash rate in America is at 5.25%. And the expectation is they're going to keep rates on hold this month. So 72% of economists believe the cash rate in the States will be on hold at 5.25%. But there's a chance that the rates in America could go up later this year. Obviously, they've got the same problem as us, high inflation and a slowing economy. So they're dealing with the same challenges we are in Australia. So expect the cash rate to remain on hold this week. But if it does change at all, it's going to have big implications for our stock market and for our Aussie dollar as well.